Welcome back to NumPy and Pandas, Tips, Tricks, and Techniques. This is section 6, our section on combining data sources. And in this video, we're going to talk about concatenation. So we're going to start off by importing Pandas, of course, and then using the data reader to get some live data. And then we're going to see what concatenation is. And really what it is either adding columns or rows from one data source to another. Okay, so I have gotten about a year's worth of data from both Google and Apple. And then concat is a top-level Pandas function, and it takes a list-like argument, and then we can just pass in the two data sources that we want to combine. All right, and rather than saving this into a variable, I'm just going to display the results to the screen, and I'll just get the first few rows. Okay, so there they are, and if I look at the tail, we'll see that, oh, what it must have done is take all the Apple observations and then just paste the Google observation. So that may be useful in some settings, but what we can do is add an index so we can identify the Apple observations. So I'll just make a string and set its value as the symbol of Apple, and then multiply it by the len of the Apple data frame. Okay, and then when that's done, I'll take the Apple data frame and set the index as that string I just made. Okay, and I don't actually just want that to be the index, so I'll lose the date if I do that. So if I put it in a list structure, I can make a multi-index. Okay, and then rather than getting a copy of this, I want it to happen in place. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to do the same thing with Google. All right, and just so we can see what this looks like before I combine them, I'll take the first few rows of the Apple data frame. Okay, and then you can see, okay, it has a multi-index. One of them is the symbol of Apple, and then the second is the actual dates. Okay, and then I will create a variable, call it combined, and I'll call PD concat on that. Passed in the list of our two symbols. Okay, and then we'll get a look at it. Okay, so we see the Apple up at the top and then a Google down at the bottom. All right, and then if we want to filter out one of those symbols, we can do it as you might expect by using a name of the index. Okay, so that's concatenating by ending data to the end of a data frame. You can also add columns. All right, so to do that, I'm going to get some fresh data. We'll get Facebook this time. And then we'll just go back a few days in this case. Okay, and then I guess I'll get maybe Amazon. Okay, so to combine them along the columns, the indexes are going to have to match when you're using PD concat. Okay, but then You just call it the same way. Okay, and what we did before was we just left the optional argument axis empty. So by default, it's axis 0. And if you want to add columns, it's axis 1. Okay, so you can see that, okay, now instead of having a long list, we have a wide list, and we also have some duplicate column names. Okay, so if you were starting to filter by, say, high, you're going to end up with 2 columns now, or low, you're going to end up with 2 columns, and then you're going to need to have to keep track somehow of which symbol is which. So the first set of columns is Facebook, the second is Amazon.